All right, I'm gonna call this the pick apart lift, and what it is, I got a Jeep I'm gonna fix and sell. Just put a motor in it. I'm gonna try to get a perfect picture before and after, but I got some wheels and tires laying there, and I've got to put a rear end in it. So I'm gonna do that first, and then all we're doing is taking some springs from other builds, and I'll show you every tool when I get done. It shouldn't take many tools, many resources to do this, so should be something you can do in driveway, I guess you call it. So yeah, I'm gonna get at it. All right, I'm sure most of you probably gonna be using jacks and jack stands, but before you jack it up, before you jack it up and let the suspension down, should be 15 millimeter nut on the shock stud, and back here, that bolt right there, sway bar, and then shock. They should be 15s also. Yep. Remove the bolts. I don't know if I said that. All right, next step, a little difficult, but remove the entire rear end from the Jeep. No, I'm just kidding. Got it on the lift now, you can see. Went ahead and took the sway bar link off right here, let the axle come down. You can see the springs. Well, fell right off, that's easy enough. So, take both the springs off the front and rear. I changed the rear end out like I said, but I know y'all don't care. So now there's no spring. Let the sway bar down. And I got the shock off because I changed rear ends, but you don't have to take the shocks off. So now let's go get the lift kit. All right, if you're new to the channel, I'm sure most of you probably ain't, but if you hadn't seen, I've got a lot of Jeeps. So it's kind of how I come up with this lift, and I'll get over there and I'll show you what springs we're going to be using. This is my Jeep. I put all my lift kit parts in, and I've got some over here. But let's see. Yellow zip tie means V8 Grand Cherokee spring. ZJ. 93 through 98 Grand Cherokee. So I'm gonna load them up. And then there they are. Got some just regular, no. All right, let me figure something out here. There they are, just regular XJ springs. So front of a XJ 4.0, that's what I'm gonna be using. And I'm sure when I get to the shop, how you measure them. I forgot something. These WJs, they have right in there that little rubber isolator. They're stackable. So it's kind of funny, we're getting parts from a WJ, a ZJ, and an XJ, and that's kind of why I was doing this whole thing. I figure when somebody goes to a pick apart to buy a like a front end or something, they're not getting a spring. So I guarantee you, if you go look around, there's one laying around somewhere. Nobody ever buys springs, or very rarely. As you can see, my calipers are not the most fancy thing ever, plastic, but V8 ZJ is usually 54, 55, hundreds, thousands, I don't know. It's, well, you can see. And then XJ is usually about exactly half of an inch. Is that right? Yeah, half an inch. Sometimes 0.49, and then 4.0 ZJ will be 0.52. So they're out in the middle. So kind of, that's what I get a kick out of people that see a spring and think how long it is equals how much lift. These are the exact same wrap, exact same everything. It's just thicker, so a little stronger, and that'll pick it up. And it actually don't ride bad. And that's what, I'm sure somebody's thinking that. So yeah, I've got it wrote down here. You can see WJ, that's, well, I just write that. Front V8 ZJ plus an extra spacer, and then rear XJ, and then I cut about 3/4 to 1 of the coil wraps around. So like this one full coil would be like right there. So I'll probably go to, I don't know, I'll probably go right there. I don't want this thing high in the rear end. And yeah, hold on. All right, so the dilemma on the front, you can see ZJ, they run like a, they get smaller at the top, where WJs don't. So, well, about right there where that zip tie is where I'll cut it. And then rear, same principle here. Cut that off just the best place you can. And they don't fit perfect, but that's why this is a pick apart lift. It's not, answer the phone. Just kidding, that's my converter, guys. All right, so I'm gonna get them chucked in the vise. Like I said, I'm gonna cut them right there on the top of the V8 spring, leave the bottom alone. XJ, I'm gonna do one full you know, go around one full revolution. And I'm trying something different. I usually cut them about right there. I'm gonna try cutting them right about, yeah, there's the mark. So I can have a flat spot to mount them. And that's what I was kind of worried. These tires are pretty big. I don't know, I don't even know what metric size they are. 275, 70, 18. And ironically, my Jeep's sitting right here. Let me see if I can find the size. 275, 60, 18. So yeah, that one is a 1 pinch size bigger. So I think it'll be all right. If I gotta trim this Jeep, it's not gonna be too bad. So let me get these cut. I'll show you here in just a second, but the V8 springs don't seem to find a good home. So I cut a flat spot there to see if that'll help them settle. May not work. I've never done it before, but let me get a coat of paint on them so they're not so ugly. I gave up on the painting idea. So now this side, since there's nothing, you see it can just kind of pivot. Let's put the flat spot up top. So you can just push down, shove it off in there. And this is the part you just kind of have to find a good spot where it don't rub right here and find somewhere it'll sit at the bottom. So I'll show you when I find it, but I don't really know. All right, so this side's a little different. Get a ratchet strap and hook it to like the cross member. Pull forward, and the way the control arm is, it'll pull the axle down and give you room to get the spring in there. So I got it hooked to the cross member, and you can see not going to go in there. So you just take the ratchet. And let's see if there's enough room. Maybe we can find a sweet spot like we did the other one. But now, get out of the way, and should be good to go. I may, yeah. What I was going to say is you can use a ratchet strap, pull it up, and hook all your sway bar. Be sure and get this one first because it'll get in the exhaust. But I think I'm just going to sit it on the ground, tighten it all, raise it up, put the tires back on. So let's work on the front. It's a little more difficult. All right, so the front end, like I said, is a little more difficult. Don't forget the extra spacer. And I wouldn't go more than one because they don't have nothing to support it right there. But that same ratchet strap, get it and start on the passenger side. For some reason, it seems to work better, drive shaft and all that stuff. So same ratchet strap, I'm gonna pull the front end down until I got enough room to get these springs in there. There we go. That should be enough room, I hope. Same thing, I'm gonna put my new flat spot at the top. Still pretty close. All right, I think I might have finally got it. I went ahead and stuck the spacer up there. Got the spring, it's still not happy where it's at. All right, I got another ratchet strap. I'm gonna see if I can't pull the spring down. Let's see, let's go. Come on. There we go, fine. All right, so ratchet strap for the wind. I think it's sitting there pretty good. Said you just have to spin it around there and find it a good home till it sits down. So that actually looks pretty good. I'll roll with it. Now, pop that strap off. Do the other side. I was trying to find my other V8 spring, and what I was talking about length earlier, those are basically the same length. So that's the V8 spring, that's the knot. So other than that spacer, that's where the lift comes from. So let me see if I can get this one in there. Maybe it'll go easier. I'm out of breath trying to get the other one. All right, I can't explain this, but this one, there's like way more than enough room. Try to find it a sweet spot, and yeah, there's too much room on this side. That's weird. One thing is the this thing right here. If you pull the rubber off and it's really rusty, it's just really common. I don't know. I mean, unless it's like completely missing, as long as it's rusty, you should be fine. So yeah, one more little trick, get a little more flex out of it, and a little length is right there. You can see I added a just a castle nut or lug nut, or however much threads you got at the top is however much how much extra threads showing when you started is how much spacer you can add. So I don't really remember, that's just a gamble, so should work. Well, no, I have no idea what I'm talking about, but it does work. All right, my lift wouldn't go down far enough, so this is pretty much what you'll be doing at home. My Harbor Freight jack will work. It's just got it all back together. So now just raise it up high enough you can get the nut started and do it all 4 corners and sit it on the ground with it, see what it looks like. So a perfectionist would tell you these rubber bushings that you need to loosen them, retorque them when they sit on the ground. Not saying I don't agree with that, but it's a 20-year-old Jeep, it's gonna be fine. But rear end, you know, I did take the rear end out, so I'm just gonna tighten them down right here. That's close enough. And don't forget your vent tube. So get them, I'm gonna check the toe while it's in the air, and we'll go from there. And don't forget your sway bar links, I about forgot them myself. Not digging the wheel combination, but it's a Jeep for sale, so it's not for me, but that definitely looks better than stock form. So figure, well, let me just crank it up. I know the tires in the front probably gonna rub, but I'm changing this bumper. I mean, that's just barely a little trimming, but I'm changing that bumper, so I'll get there. Let's see. Other side. It probably make noise. I'll cut that little piece right there out. And back gets close to the shocks, but yeah. Let me get a popping noise figured out. We'll take it down the road. All right, I forgot to tighten the bolt. This is so crazy. When I get done, I'll show y'all tools. 21, 18, 15, 21, 15. Extensions, obviously impact guns. Screwdriver, 1/2 inch, and then a pry bar and 2 ratchet straps. And grinders are like 20 bucks at Harbor Freight. So anybody can do it if you can find the tools. Nothing real hard, it's a little time consuming. And those little springs are just hard to get in there. But let me wash my hands, we'll go down the road. Don't drive too bad at all. Like pulling out of the driveway, you can definitely tell the springs are a little more firmer, but nothing major. Right here's my death wobble bridge. Nope, nothing. So, yep, just a cheap lift kit, don't really cost much. So I think that's it for now. I appreciate y'all watching. Got any ideas? Throw me some ideas, because I mean my head's full of a lot of stuff I've learned over the years. So appreciate y'all.